So first off, at the end of Saturday's game, you said you were hoping there'd be more in the door. Are you any closer to getting any more done?
Yes, we're hopeful that in the next 24 hours there'll be a striker announced. As with a lot of things this transfer window, everything seems to be taking its time. We've waited a long time for this player, and I'm as confident as you can be until everything is signed that come Saturday hopefully he's able to be involved. But as we stand at the moment, we're still in the lapse of the lawyers and contracts and what have you. But no, if we get to Saturday, I'd expect us to have Max in the squad, and I'd expect us to have another, which I think we need. So but until the ink is dry on that piece of paper, then we won't know anything.
And this other one, what kind of position are you looking for? Would that be another forward or a midfielder?
He's a centre forward, so it'll be good to add some real competition and depth in that area of the pitch. I feel that Dan and Ryan at times haven't been able to be taken out and maybe given a rest. So what it'll do is it'll give us good competition in those areas. And I think, if I look at someone like Max has worked extremely hard in the time that he has been here. It was just unfortunate that he picked up the injury that he did. He'll train tomorrow with a view to being involved. So, hopefully on Saturday we'll be in a position where if things are or are not going the way that we want, that we're able to manage the minutes for players at the top of the pitch. Because where we've been, especially if you look at the two players in terms of Aidan and Tom that have left us, we've needed that competition at the top of the pitch. So hopefully on Saturday it'll all come to fruition.
In terms of the other areas of the pitch, the midfield, are you happy with what you've got now?
I think what's been difficult, so Elliot Thorpe has got injured, and to give you a bit of an idea on his injury, he's not going to be back until the middle of October, which is a real blow for us. As a group of staff, we were really pleased with what we were seeing on the training pitch, and he's picked up and sustained a back injury that unfortunately is going to keep him out for a period of time. We've had good dialogue with Luton, really good conversations with them. He's going to come back to us for his rehabilitation, which we're pleased with, and we expect him to be fit the middle of October. Now, Elliot Bennett's come in. Elliot Bennett has had his appendix removed. He's not been 100%, so we've not had a right wing back, if you like, in the building. So Carl's had to play there. I think what Carl's done is he's played really well there, but it's taken obviously away from where we see him playing in terms of at the beginning of this season when we signed in the middle of midfield. But his adaptability has been massive for us. So in terms of the area of the pitch that we want to strengthen, and we see if there is anything else to foresee coming into the building, I'm not really too sure. Of course, every manager, every head coach wants attacking players, but where we're fortunate within the squad is we've got good balance. I think as we stand at the moment, we've got 19 seniors in the building. 2 of those in George Nurse, who unfortunately is out for the season due to his ruptured ACL. He's had an operation, so there's 1 down, and Elliot Thorpe's 2. And behind that, the 4 development players that we have in Travis, Harvey, Jason and Tamishi, and then we've got 4 first-year pros. So we're happy with the balance. Would we like to add more? Would I like to add more? Of course I would. But one thing I will say is that the conversations I've had with the chairman have been really good. And what he has said is that if there is a player out there, then there's money available. And I think that I have to thank him for that. Am I, or are we saying, standing here right now, that we'll find that player? I don't know. But what I will say is that if a player comes up that we feel will impact the starting 11, then of course we'll do all we can as a football club to make sure that we can bring somebody in. But as I say again, the chairman's gone above and beyond, and he's said to us very recently that if we find something that we might like or that would work for the football club, then he'll back us 100%.
Do you have a set number in mind in terms of how many players you would want, for depth as well? Not
necessarily. I think every squad's different. I think the other thing is you have to remember that we don't know how our development players are going to progress this season. If you look at Travis has surprised us because he's gone above and beyond. He started the game at Leeds, and he's a player that we feel will have an impact this season, as with Jason, as with Tamishi and Harvey. you've got the group of players in the first year pros just beneath them there, and we're hoping that they're going to be on that same path as well. But it's very difficult with young players at times because it can be sporadic. I was one of them. I understand that it's difficult. So from my perspective and our perspective, in terms of a specific number, I think it would be remiss of me to stand here and say to you, I want 36 players, right? Because that's not achievable. What we want is players now, when they come in the building, that can affect the starting 11, because I've always said it's person above player, and we're hopeful, as I say, that when we get the announcement from the football club, or when the football club announce it, that we'll have a centre forward in the building by Saturday.
It's been your first free week without a midweek game. How's everyone recovered since Saturday, and what have you been working on in the week?
It's been a tough week. I think all the focus, I think all of the focus has been towards Fleetwood. So from Monday, when the players returned, everything that we've done, everything we will do tomorrow, and everything we've done today and Tuesday has been about Fleetwood and what the players can expect both in and out of possession. It's the way it has to be. It's been structured as per usual. We've spent considerable time in the analysis room, in the classroom. Feel that's important. We are away tomorrow in terms of in a hotel. It gives us more time with the players again, more contact time, so we're looking forward to that. It's been a tough week. Tuesday was a double session. Whether the players thought it was coming or not, I don't know, but each one of them really committed to it. So the players have continued to give everything, and I think when they do that, our messages will of course sink in. It takes a period of time. We've got a different test on Saturday, a different challenge against a very good team with a really good young manager who had a good season last year. It's going to be another tough game for us. I'm sure that it'll be one in which they feel that they can get 3 points, and I just feel that, especially coming off the disappointment of Saturday and losing the game the way that we did, we need the players to respond, and that's what we've been asking for all week, and that's what we hope to get at the weekend.
You spoke a little bit on Saturday about taking chances. I think it was 11 shots that you had. I suppose, how do you work on that in training and then apply that to a game? I guess it's different training to game scenarios.
I think in training, the one thing that you do is you practice repetitive movements, and you put players and you stress them and you put them in positions in which they have to recreate those finishes that you hope will come at the weekend. It's difficult at times to recreate that real pressure of a match day, but the forwards we had a split session on Tuesday. The defenders were with me, the attackers were with Marcus and Passion. They worked a lot around areas of the pitch where we feel we can still develop players. So we create lots of chances. It's now that putting the gloss on top of it. I think if we do that, you'll see us pick up positive results. Albeit the goal was disappointing and avoidable at the weekend, it should have been similar to the Burton game, where we concede towards the end of the game, but we had already taken our chances by that point. And that, I think, was the main difference in the game from Burton to Lincoln. But in saying that, the players are all in good spirits. They've worked really hard. And our job as coaches is not just to develop them on the pitch, but it's to help them understand why we want them to play in the areas that we do, and the benefit of that to both them and the team.